Whatever that man, Joseph Zinbauer, said, half-time seems to have worked. It's the kind of performance we're expecting. Pressure off, playing for pride. Pretty sheepish in the first half. And away by Mott. Here's Depu. Hosseini. His pass cut out, but quickly there. First a loose ball. What an effort that is! What a goal that would have been from Depu. Great improvisation. The bicycle kick. He had the better of Benrabah from the spot this time. From a good 15 yards out. The keeper was equal to his effort. It's onto the head of Depu again! Listen to the roar in Zanzibar. And it's the new boy from Angola who's the hero. Yanga are 2-0 up. This is the position they need to be in. Now they need a goal from Al Ahly in Cairo. But it's all about Depu for now. He converted from the spot. He nearly scored a spectacular bicycle kick seconds ago from the resulting corner. He produces a looping header to make it 2-0. It's an excellent delivery from Alan Okello. We're waiting all alone at the back post. Backpedaling was Depu. And he judged that to perfection. Benrabah couldn't get back quickly enough as the ball just floated into the side netting. Mobbed by his teammates. They know they need a helping hand in Cairo, but they have done all they need to here in Zanzibar. An instant response from Pedro Gonçalves. On comes Boca to replace Okello. He played his part. He'll grab an assist for the second goal. Is there a change of approach? Brought on, the defender replaces an attacking midfielder. But still, Yanga push on. Here's Abuya. Time to perfection. It's surely going to be 3. It is. A quick fire double from Yanga, and of course it's Booker. His first touch is Yanga's third goal. He sends the Zanzibar faithful into raptures, but they are still not in the top 2. How many will have an eye on the game in Cairo now? It is 3-0 though, here in Zanzibar City. Shadrack Boka brought on, surely to shore things up in defence. The defensive midfielder, Abuya, can try and defend, but they can't stop scoring. He played in Dubé, who got there ahead of Benrabah, and waiting to pick up the pieces with his first touch was Shadrack Boka. 1 touch, 1 goal. Yanga 3-0. Only scored 1 all last season. He scored 1 within seconds of coming on in the Champions League here. A first Champions League goal for the 26-year-old. They're in dreamland in terms of the individual performance, the individual result. But as you can see, it's not enough without another goal elsewhere. Al Ahly, if they can win on home soil, is something they don't often fail to do, albeit without too much jeopardy of their own. As Yanga nearly make it 4 onto the head of Depu on a hat-trick now, the Angolan. Yes, 1-0 in Al Ahly. And it would be a very different looking Group B. Still just 0.01 XG for Asfar. The bus has been parked there since the first whistle. Another double change for JSK here. Malki will make way. On in his place is Tistish. And Izem will replace the booked Babacar Sarr. They wanted to leave with their heads held high. They're set to fall to their heaviest defeat, alongside the 4-1 loss at the hands of Al Ahly. The other end of this group stage campaign on match day 1. They're still yet to score a goal themselves. Own goal, their only goal in Group B. Listen to the noise. Is there news? Is there news from Cairo? None that I've seen. It remains 0-0. A fourth goal here for Yanga wouldn't change much the complexion of their qualification. Their job is done if they can hold out for a 3-goal victory here. And as you see, many now on their phones willing the ball into the net in Cairo. Yanga, though, with the wind in their sails. Yaya going for the pullback. The offside flag was up. There is a quarter of the game remaining in Cairo. There's 20 minutes remaining here. Well, may not have been the right decision on that occasion. But either way, won't affect the mood too much. Whether the news arrives via phone or, well, still via phone, I suppose, but via streaming services. For those watching the match, as I think there are many inside the Amman Stadium, there is no news as yet from the other Group B game. Frustrated. Wanted more from his side with the pressure off. 4 pairs of sunglasses required for some. They have shone pretty brightly this evening, young Africans. They would have wished they had this kind of cutting edge 1 week ago against Asfar. Now they need the Moroccan side to slip up. Will things come full circle? It was a late winner for Asfar that put the sides in this position a week ago. Is there to be a late goal in Cairo that will change the complexion of Group B entirely? Meanwhile, Yanga push on here and look for a fourth. Yaya keeps it alive. Dubé into the middle. Depu was waiting centimetres from the goal line, unmarked, on a hat-trick. Dubé fired it a metre or two in front of him. Had to gamble which way his strike partner would go. He could have had more. It's 3-0 does not flatter Yanga. They have been the better side the majority of this game. It's JSK who are the former champions of this competition, though both came when it was known by a different name, the African Champions Cup. 2 titles in 81 and 1990. Also winners of the African Cup Winners' Cup in the 90s, and a record 3 CAF Cups in a row between 2000 and 2002. But it's all Yanga once again. Closest they've come was the runners-up medal in the Confederation Cup a few years back. Heartbreak in the Confederation Cup final. Beaten by USM Alger on away goals, despite a 1-0 victory in the second leg. Last year, they narrowly missed out on a spot in the Champions League knockouts, having amassed 8 points, finishing 1 behind MC Alger, 2 behind Al Hilal. A goalless draw with MCA on match day 6. Not enough to secure their spot, and it's an all too familiar looking group as things stand. They find themselves on 8 points again, this time 1 behind Asfar, a different North African opponent, and 2 behind Al Ahly. Offside flag goes up again. This time against Mwenda. I think it was the right call. This time by the assistant. Into the final 15 here. A few more minutes remain in Cairo. It was Yanga who failed to get over the line. That goalless draw costing them 12 months ago. This time they've done all that was required of them. It's a goalless draw. And the other final game that's set to cost them. Oh, that could change. Regulars in CAF's continental tournaments more often. The Premier Tournament, Champions League, 28 appearances in all across the Champions League and African Cup of Champions clubs, just 6 in the Confederation Cup. Despite the number of appearances, they've never progressed particularly far in either until a couple of years ago. They're here. They are driving forwards again. Ball into the middle this time was dealt with by the JSK defence. Shadrach Boka, scorer of the all-important third goal, pulling it back to no one in particular. Now, should they concede again, as the JSK cross is cleared without too much trouble, it would change things slightly. Live standings. Goal difference now of +1, Yanga. 5 scored, 4 conceded. Of course, then back to 0. 5 goals scored, 5 conceded if JSK were to grab one. As far, of course, if they are to fall behind, it would be 3 goals scored, 3 goals conceded. Goals scored would still be enough to take Yanga through. They can't, though, concede a second, or they drop out. As it is, though, they're trying to move further into the distance, make things more comfortable here. Only a late goal fest in Cairo could mean any further complications. If somehow, with the score at 0-0, with about a quarter of an hour remaining, it were to end 4-3 to Al Ahly, and Asfar would scrape through on goals scored if there were 1 scored here. That is very much our hypothetical, though. A bizarre, in a way, position for Yanga to find themselves in here, both players and fans. Still giddy from the high of that third goal. But knowing that they are, as things stand, heading out of the competition. To ensure they keep their heads, keep their lead here. And that 2-goal cushion to a position that wouldn't be good enough is reasonably comfortable. Yanga players keeping their heads down, doing their job in defence right now, whilst the Yanga fans, I think, have as many eyes on phones, be it just the scoreline or the match itself in Cairo, as they do on the one a few feet from their very faces. 12 minutes to play in the Cairo International Stadium, still 0-0. 0.01 XG still for Asfar, 0.81 for Al Ahly, but they've, according to the statisticians, done enough to almost expect a goal. They have not managed to net one as yet. 14 shots, 7 on target, just 2 off target from Asfar. Here, meanwhile, 14 shots, 5 on target, 3 of them finding the net for Yanga. 4 shots off target for JSK. It's not a dissimilar comparison in terms of the stats, but it's a very different scoreline. Prince Dubé, who's been excellent once again. Perhaps he liked, but always full of energy, full of ideas. Final pass lacking once or twice. See there, he went down under no close attention of an opposition player. He's though got back to his feet, and it's now a different player in black and gold being treated, and who likely will be replaced. We've got a JSK player down as well. That's Artur Bada. He'll be stretchered off. One final change, perhaps, for the Algerian side. And now we focus on the Yanga substitutions. Zouzoua, who sent them on their way around an hour ago. Only watch on. Here comes Booker. Dubé playing it into the middle. It was Kabylie who got the shot away. Depu getting out of his way. They were too close to Ben Raba. After a promising start to the second half from JSK, rather capitulated in the space of a few minutes, conceding 2 goals in 3 minutes. 63rd, looping header from Depu. The 66th, the tap in from Boca. Steady the ship a little now. Yanga taking their foot off the gas, carried on, continued that momentum for a few minutes, nearly added a 4th. He slowed things down. No need to score anymore now. Chaotic, high tempo didn't really suit them. In case JSK were to grab one back, they do have plenty of talent in their ranks. From this position, you'd back Yanga to see this one out pretty comfortably. JSK's only goal of the group stage coming on match day 1, courtesy of an Al Ahly own goal. It does look like the home side who are the more likely to score the 4th of the evening. In what is around 5 minutes plus additional time we have ahead of us. Dubé knocks it onto Boca. He was in there. Would have been a tap in, surely, for either Depu or Kabylie. It's another tight call in terms of the offside. The final changes, certainly, at least for JSK. Depu won't get his hat-trick. He's replaced by Kabylie. So too Dubé coming off for Mwenengo. front two, who at times were too much to handle for the JSK defence. Played their part, did the job. A brace for Depu. Sliding in there, Husseini, who's remained at left-back. Boca is a left-back by trade, but seems to be playing on the left wing. Straight swap for Okello, as it proved to be. That one's flicked on. Needed to be saved by Diarra, it was. He wants another clean sheet. Whatever happens. Only conceded 3 goals all the way through to the shootout at the end of the quarter-finals in 2024. Just 2 so far in this group stage. In 6 games. His shot-stopping heroics also pivotal in guiding the Malian Eagles to the quarter-finals of the last 2 AFCONs, 23 and 25 in Morocco. The start of the year, he ensured Mali triumphed in a round of 16 penalty shootout against Tunisia after Lassine Sinioko's last gasp, 96th minute equaliser. Ironically, it was Al Ahly's Mohamed Ali Ben Ramdan who missed the crucial final penalty. Now they need Al Ahly to do them a favour. It's the 3rd to miss in the shootout. Diarra. Diarra, excellent. Get spot kicks there. Ultimately knocked out by eventual winners Senegal, conceding just the once in a 1-0 defeat. Yanga, whatever happens, can be proud of their performance over the past couple of months. But if it is to end like this in the 2 respective games, it will be a bitter pill to swallow. Boca going for the 1-2. Very nearly onto the loose ball. 90 minutes. Come and gone here, 3 to be added on. There are 3 still to play between Al Ahly and Asfar. Number of yellow cards being handed out there. Not too much else of note. Asfar have racked up 4 yellows after 5. 0.84 XG now for Al Ahly, 16 shots. Still though, just the 2 big chances they produced in the first half. It'll be a party atmosphere in Cairo for both sets of fans. Here's the final whistle blows there, with the score at 0-0. It might be a defiant party here, but certainly one that won't be as special as it might have been in different circumstances. It'll take a while perhaps to forget that 85th minute winner last Saturday in Rabat. Would have been oh so different without that, but they push on here and look to make it 4-0 in stoppage time. Well, to their credit, great tracking back from JSK. They apply the pressure even in the 92nd minute. and up against the fresh legs of a Yanga substitute. In the shape of Mwanengo, it was Bulkabul who got back in time, put it out for a corner. A prayer said by Pedro Suarez Gonçalves. It's now or never for Kabylie in terms of progression. 30 seconds remain in Cairo. Meanwhile here, JSK look for a consolation. Booker with the tackle. Pretty much 3 minutes between the games. 93 minutes here are up. The 90 minutes are up in Cairo. And if any eyes were still on this game, they will now turn to the match in Cairo. Yanga did all they could. They can be proud, as you see from the reaction from their head coach, Pedro Gonçalves. To pick their heads up, it was a brilliant performance, a 3-0 win. Depu with 2 goals, Shadrach Booker scoring with his first touch. But barring a late miracle in Cairo, it won't be enough for Yanga.
It's for about full time. Young Africans Tato, JS Kabylie Sifuri, Muroto Lukonami, Gharib Mzinga, Kilo Finest.
Dakika 90 zinamalizika kwa Young Africans kuchomoza na ushindi wa mabao 3-0 dhidi ya JS Kabylie, lakini swali kubwa linabaki, je, atafuzu kuelekea katika hatua ya robo finali, wakati mchezo kati ya Al Ahly dhidi ya AS FAR Rabat ukiwa umeongezwa dakika 7.